What's going on, beautiful people of the internet? In today's video, we'll be talking about the meta, which is AI, Web3 gaming, and memes. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and dive right in. All right, with that said, I think what we're seeing in the macro is pretty good so far. Now, of course, there could be some like dips, corrections, whatever. We're not going to talk about price or charts or anything like that. But what I am seeing on the timeline is reports of, a lot of people planning on buying Bitcoin. So that's a pretty good sign. And again, not to say that one thing's going to happen or the other, but overall health of the market, I tended to like to look at that. Again, this isn't like a speculation video by any means, but we are going to talk about the metas. And I do think digital ownership is inevitable, which I tweeted out today. AI is taking over. Web3 gaming and metaverse will eventually take over, in my opinion, as well. And I think they're intrinsically tied together. We're starting to see that with, Virtual's protocol is a good example. We know A16Z DAO has their, ELISA thing that they have working on as well. That's been popping up as well. But Virtuals is, in my opinion, is a little bit more palatable and understandable. I think, in my opinion, it makes a little bit more sense as well. I think it's even easier to launch your own AI agent. What is an AI agent, you might ask? Anybody can launch one. You can basically use a model that Virtuals have provided, and you can basically kind of train it on certain data, right? Like I could train it on, myself and my data and make it like a Kyle agent, and it just like acts like me, essentially. Well, this one right here is called AI XBT, and this one essentially spits out alpha like every day, all day. That's all it does. It monitors like KOLs and has some other interesting things about it. Like if you own its tokens, you can have access to its data and terminal, which is really cool. Like this is actually the utility behind it, which a lot of people don't know that. They just assume this is just memes, right? Which some of them and a lot of them are on this platform because a lot of them are being launched, but the quality ones actually have some pretty unique things about them. One of my favorites is Vader AI, which I do own tokens to that one, full disclosure. But unfortunately, I didn't get involved in AI XBT. I was early to it, but it just popped off like within a matter of days. And a lot of KOLs have been going crazy about this one. But with that said, these kind of AI agents are like buying, meme coins, which is pretty insane, right? And they're spitting out alpha about them and what have you. So that, in my opinion, is interesting, right? Now we're going to get into like kind of the games, like how is this involved in gaming? Well, I think AI, there's many different points of contact with AI, right? AI in terms of like the developer side of it, making maps, but eventually AI, in terms of NPCs. We've seen that with NVIDIA, them showcasing that at one of their conferences and one of their videos, which is like basically bringing NPCs to life. Then you could have AI agents like with Paleo AI. It says, meet Paleo, your one and only AI buddy to interact, discover, and play with. Now, I don't think they officially launched just yet, but I think that's something to watch out for. And there's many other platforms that are doing similar things like Paleo as well. Also, as I was editing this video, I thought I would bring up ARC Agents, which is a good example of what I'm actually talking about in this video. They are the factory and R&D lab for AI agents in games powered by the NRN token. So they are actually the builders of AI Arena, which you might have seen in the Web3 gaming space. So something definitely to notate, but they are basically pitting these AI agents in a Flappy Bird style game, which I think is absolutely hilarious. So introducing Flappy Bot Sentient Supreme, an experiment of wits, skills, memes, and ARC powered mayhem. So that just goes back to my thesis. AI agents, memes, gaming, it's all kind of intrinsically tied together. And I think the eventuality is you basically get like this metaverse experience, right? And you're starting to see people start to develop around this type of thesis as well. So yeah, this is something definitely to keep an eye on, even pitting my favorite AIs against each other, AI XBT and Vader AI. And gonna be very curious to see the outcome of that one. But with that said, thought I would notate this back to the video. So again, I think we're at the basically tip of the iceberg of what we could see with AI agents in gaming. And that's where I think the lines really start to get blurred between what does a game, an AI, and metaverse have in common? Well, it's kind of like all the above. And that's why I think digital ownership is inevitable. I've been saying it for years. You guys know on the channel, back in the VV Omi days and all the other previous content, you guys kind of know what's up. But with that said, games, for example, like Wilder World, one of the clients here on the channel, or not on the channel, but on the business side of things. Anyways, they are doing kind of exactly that, right? They're building this open world or metaverse or what have you. They have like the whole, digital ownership aspect of it. So I think that's a really good example, one of the best examples to use, in my opinion. As all this is kind of tied together. They even have like a lot of integrations with their other platforms that they developed. That's another whole video, but again, it's gonna be interesting to see like AI agents start to invest into like other types of, meme coins. I've seen one here on the feed about Avalanche, or not Avalanche, but LFJ, which is previously Trader Joe's. LFJ is cool. So play on LFG. Let's go. But let's freaking Joe. Anyways, pretty cool stuff. But that said, they launched their own platform called Token Mill. Now, why, you may ask, like, does this matter? Well, PumpFun.Fun was doing some pretty, I don't want to say they were, but people on it were going in this dark direction. I can't even show it on the channel, but they're streaming some pretty nefarious things. And anyways, it was getting out of hand pretty quickly. They did shut down streaming over there. But with that said, their model is just anybody can launch a token, anybody can rug it as well. Like devs can just rug the token at any point in time, basically, which I think is not cool, right? Well, Token Mill improves that model of essentially allowing people to lock up tokens. It looks like you can allocate yourself via a customizable lockup investing schedule. You can customize it as well, and people can actually stake tokens and refer friends, creating a creator community flywheel, which I think is really cool. There's a lot of more aspects to it, like how they break down the fee percentages and how a portion can go to stakeholders or stakers and what have you. So it's a very, very interesting improvement in my opinion. Now, they did launch on Avalanche and Solana too. So I think we'll start to see a lot of people maybe possibly move over to a platform like this, but especially AI agents. So again, going back to the meta, like these AI agents are already buying meme coins, and it could be a matter of time before they detect something like a token mill that has an improvement on the meme coin model of like launching the tokens and the incentives that align much better in token growth, in my opinion. So again, these are all things to be monitoring, and you might not be able to tie them all together in your head, but I hope this video actually did a little bit more than what we're seeing. But this is why I think, again, everything goes back to digital ownership being inevitable. Like you can own a piece of these AI agents as well, which I think is pretty interesting. Again, getting utility into those. Some of them, again, airdrop their holders like tokens. And yeah, managing their own like wallets and interactions like on the blockchain. That is pretty insane. And you can see how like they even talk about on virtuals, like how this can record a lot of their different things, the flows. Meet player got punched, player fee, read player, attack player, taunt, like programmable type stuff. But like all this is pretty much the AI doing everything, right? And some of these, again, AIs have huge, massive wallets and holdings that they manage by themselves. So yeah, this is all pretty interesting. And this video is probably a lot to wrap your head around. But we'll be doing more content kind of about this. And with that said, I do have a referral link if you guys are interested in checking out this token mill. Again, not financial advice by any means. It's just something for informational purposes if you want to check out. Trading is risky. You guys know the due diligence portion and tidbit. Be safe out there in what you're doing. But with that being said, guys, that's all I got for this video. I know it was a lot, but let me know down below if there's something you want me to cover, more Web3 games, platforms. Yeah, check it out. Comment down below and I'll read those later. And as always, be like an NFT, be authentic, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.